Traders, what's going on? It's RT here and welcome back to another video. So in this one, I'll be doing a weekly recap. Going over the week, let's talk about it Monday, Tuesday, the bigger green days that we've had, and then the 3 red days. We'll talk about it. Let's go over the trader view metrics here to see what we can improve upon for next week. So before we jump into it, guys, of course, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. I post daily content here, live streams, recaps, and more. So be sure to subscribe. So here we are, Trader View. The metrics is pulled up, and this is for week 2. Reports view, calendar. Week 2, man. Week 2 of March. I definitely thought this week would have been a little stronger, believe it or not. Well, I guess with the kind of momentum we had, I guess it's not that surprising that I thought the week would have been stronger. But what I'm really trying to say is that I would have had more green days. And so, I always ask myself, hey, can I be 4 for 1? Can I be green 4 days and red on 1? Because, when we talk about a day over day look, that's pretty decent. That's pretty good. You allow yourself a few red days on the month. And overall, you're seeing a lot of consistency. But to go 2 for 3, I wasn't really too happy about that. And when we look at the red days, they're smaller than the green days, which is the good thing. But when we get into it, really, Monday was a day to be green, man. Monday was a day, you can see, I started green about $60, then I'm down 150, and eventually I'm down around 180, and then I make it all back. I make it all back, and then I finish the day in the red. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, what a tough day. And when we look back at the momentum, HUSA, IMPP, these stocks were on fire this day, but I just had a very hard time trading them and doing well, So when we do look at some of the chartings here, the stock was not a bad stock on this day, man. But we got to do a little bit better, man. We got to do a little bit better. We got to be able to capitalize properly, efficiently, and not let the trades go against us. So that was one of the main things for me when we talk about this week, right? So let's clear this up here a little bit. Let's clear this up and come back in. Week 1 wasn't bad, man. Week 1 wasn't bad. We had a little bit more consistency in terms of green days, but week 2 we definitely were able to make a little bit more, right? So well, let's filter for week 2 for now. Let's filter for week 2. We'll take a look at week 1 later on. So yeah, Monday we're down. Tuesday, very big day on Tuesday, $1,400 trading USEG, and ENSV was the big one. This one here, very aggressive, in out multiple times, looking for those scalp trades. Let's come down here and see actually. So we started off small, flat, and then we started to see some gains. $100, $90, minus 40, plus 94, minus 80. So I like how TraderView breaks down the executions here, so you can see, the amount you're making. And so when we talk about my average per trade gain, it starts to make sense, right? When it's actually only $36 because of all these green trades combined, less all the red trades, all the scratch trades, it only averages out to about $40-$50, right? As we'll see in a second here. So lots of trades, some bigger ones, some smaller ones, some bigger losses, some bigger gains, everything mixed in there. But a much better day. We do start slightly red, and look at this, we're down $200 before zooming up there. So close call right here. Remember, we almost took an $1,100 loss on this IMPP, man. This one right here, this trade, had I sold it 1 second later, would have been that. And that's the difference with trading. Sometimes there's such a fine line between being green and being red, and a second difference is gonna save me $1,000 here. It was absolutely insane. It would have been my fault too, because I'm not supposed to trade within the first 2-3 minutes. It's just a little too volatile. It's almost like a halt resumption, but without as clear a direction sometimes. And so I got caught up looking for a trade early, and it didn't go super well. So, we're 2 for 5. Thursday we're down 87. Friday we're down 117. And so, you know, if you ask me which one do I prefer between the 2 weeks, do I prefer week 1 or week 2? I would say, can we get a mixture of both, right? Can we be as consistent as we are in week 1, but with bigger gains, you know? And Friday, I think, was the best day of the month so far, to be honest. Friday was absolutely impressive. We did exceptionally well on Friday of last week. So, you know, the best of both worlds is something I would, greatly appreciate, because red days, although they don't bother me, it's like, it always reminds me that, okay, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't perform as well as I was supposed to perform. And the thing is with trading is that it doesn't stop. It's so constant. Like, it reminds me of sports. For those of you who are familiar with basketball here, the NBA here in the States, as a player, you can score a lot of points on Monday, get a lot of assists, rebounds. Yeah, I mean, likewise with any sport, whether it's football, the American football, touchdowns, or when we talk about football overseas, soccer, right? Maybe, you're coming in like Ronaldo on Monday and you know, you score 10 goals, or let's say 3 goals, you get a hat trick. But on Tuesday, you don't really perform. And so it's like, it's constant. It never really stops. It's like, you got to keep performing at your best at all times, or else you start to, you know, you can, and for someone like me in the public space, there'll be some sort of criticism sometimes. There'll be that mental pressure, of like, hey, why am I not green? What did I do wrong? Where do I need to improve? There's that side of things. When you're green, you feel that way, but it's obviously not as strong when you talk about, okay, what can we do better? Because, it's like on a day like this where I was actually up 770 at the highs, right? Look at this right here. I was up 700 at the highs. You know, I'm green 100 at one point and I go red 100. So what this means is that I'm up on the day and I lose $200 and then I start to make it back. So some big swings, right? But it's like, what? Despite losing 200 at one point and having some chop in here in some areas, we finished up 600. We still have to work on some stuff, yes, but at least we had a really good day. So the psychology is a little different, you know, like red days. I don't know, man. The red days. It's not that they bother you, but they bother you. I think a lot of you guys will know what that means as traders. If you're not a trader, then it might not make as much sense. But there on any single day though where I have losses, it's like it feels. What I'll say is that the emotions actually feel very similar when I'm green. Not to contradict myself or anything, but on a day where I'm green, it's like okay. On a day that I'm red, it's like okay. When you're green, you don't really get excited. When you're red, you don't get upset. When I'm green, I feel normal. When I'm red, I feel normal. It's kind of just like the same thing. I guess maybe you just have more energy subliminally on a green day. I don't know. It's a little into the psychology of it all. But, so far the month is off to a decent start. But we definitely got to tighten up because on Thursday and Friday here today, these days should have been green days if I was faster to adjust to the momentum, if I was faster to realize what was going on, and that the scalp trades were not working, and that I needed to be looking for trades off the lows. So Monday, that's going to be my biggest adjustment. On Monday, I'll be looking forward to trades off the lows in any area where the scalp trades are not working well. So, average daily gain so far 369. It's pretty decent. Look at our volume profile here compared to, let's look at February for example. Look at the difference in the volume profile. February, I'm trading 6,000 shares, and so far here coming into the new month, or at least we can check for the entire month here. March, things are definitely a little different, right? We're at 50,000 shares so far per day. So For me, as long as there's opportunities, man, as long as there's momentum, I'll be willing to go. I'll be willing to step it up. It's been a slow start to the year, but that's all it comes down to, man. Will we see momentum? And if we do, I'll be ready to capitalize, right? So I've been getting better. I've been working on it, flipping the switch, real time, but I still have a ways to go, and especially getting back into those red days where I'm trading the highs and not quite getting to see the result. So having to flip the switch and say, hey, trades off the lows are the way to go. My average winning trade versus my average losing trade is not good at all. This is closer to a 1-to-1, which for me is not good. I usually have more of a 1.5 to 1, a 2 to 1 in this front. And so I think a lot of it has to do with churning shares. Churning, I was very aggressive on some of these days, and I was churning a lot of shares, and a lot of break-even trades, sideways trades. And when you have a lot of trades of $0 or a few losses, it definitely adds up a little fast, right? So we are net green in terms of number of winning trades, which is good. We're at 53 to 45, and then 1.6% on the scratch trades. So max consecutive wins 7, max consecutive losses 6. We're actually, well, and this is just a week. We're at 3 days right there. You can see pre-market. I am having some issue. I'm down 14 here, and then 62, only green about 30 around 7 a.m. And then 10 between 9:30 and 10, we're seeing an improvement, and then as the day go on, we're seeing some more improvement. So 12 o'clock, we'll see if we can't turn this around and get it in the green. Pre-market is a work in progress, man. Pre-market, I've been working on pre-market for a long time. Price range between 2 and 5 has been killing me, man. Between 2 and 5 has absolutely been killing me. The cheaper the stock is, the worse, the harder of a time I'm having. So when we look at our stocks, ENSV, ASTS, HYMC, SISI, and the list goes on a little bit lower. But on the red side, these are stocks we should have been green on. GFAI, AGRI, HUS, especially these three right here. HUSA, IMPP, and MGLD should have been green, 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 man. So to lose 190, 207, and then 297 is absolutely not good. Not good at all. So we got to improve for Monday, man. I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be studying up some more. And this metric I'm never happy about. This is the page of TraderView that I hate seeing the most. But it lets me know that I need to continue working, right? So for this week alone, just this week, not including anything else, I was able to make $5,385, but I only retain $1,800. Now, man, this is tough right here. This is tough. This is the hardest thing for me every time I do a recap on my metrics. I think a lot of this just simply has to do with those days where we're starting off red or where we're green or giving back. And we see the charts just now. We go to the calendar. We see the charting, right? We see the charting, and I believe that metric captures everything. So when we click on even a big green day like this, right? When we click on a big green day like this, and we start to go through all the executions, it's like, okay, the math, right? The math on how much money I lose on a green day like this is what that metric is capturing. Okay, it's like, okay, you made 1,400 on a day, pretty good, very good, but how much money did you lose throughout that process? 17 plus 24 plus 219 plus 26 plus 32 and 120, and then you add up all of these red trades, you combine all of these red trades, and it equates to that number. So not only when we're starting the day red and then we're going green, but or if we're very green and we give back profits, but also along the way of making profits, how much money are we losing, right? And we know the profitable traders make more money than they lose, but we also want to have a little bit more efficiency. It's definitely tough, man. It's definitely tough. It's one of the hardest part of the metrics for me. It's definitely tough. So when we go on win-loss versus days, we got the 2 green days versus the 3 red days. On the 2 green days, we're at 2,131. On the 3 red days, and this is why if you have a good profit loss ratio, a good risk to reward ratio, you can still be green even if your accuracy is low or you're having more red days than green days, because you know essentially if you're having your entire year look like this, even though you're going to have more red days on the year than green days, you'll still be very green. So there's a lot of ways to go about it. The good thing that I'm seeing here is that on the red days I am using less volume, which is good. um, 52, and it's crazy, I actually have better accuracy on my red days, which it's kind of weird. Definitely kind of weird there, that I have better accuracy there. But yeah, not too bad. Average daily gains pretty good for the green days. Average losses are small, so we're doing a good job on some things, but other things we need to improve upon. So flipping the switch real time, I think is going to be the biggest thing for me. Flipping the switch real time, because I can trade the lows. It's not like I can't trade the lows. I spent a lot of time learning that specifically for this situation, but I'm not applying it as much as I need to be doing on a daily basis. Like I can't get caught up with the scalps. Cannot get caught up with the scalps. Gotta have a good and healthy balance between the two. And I gotta be quick at the lows as well. I gotta be quick at the lows and look forward to the momentum. So that's how the month has been going. It's been a good month so far. Definitely better than last month, the month before. But we got to just keep improving, keep making progress, and keep trying to get better, man. It's such a journey every day when we talk about what trading is. But so far, so good. The month is in good shape. We have a good amount of days remaining, right? To be exact, was that 510? We got 14 days remaining here in the month. So next week is going to be crucial. Coming into the third week, can we get 3 green days, 4 green days? We'll push for 4 or 5, and if we can, 5 green days, right? And kind of get back on the green side of things right here, right? Because if we get a nice 5 green day stretch coming into week 4, we'll be very confident, very ready to go. But what we don't want is like 1 green day, 3 red days, or 4 red days, nothing like that. So on Monday, we got to come in careful, be ready to go, well rested, and not repeat the mistake we made last Monday, which I came in a little sloppy, a little tired, a little late, not quite as ready. So looking forward to the challenge as always. It's been a good recap here. The win-loss expectation for those of you who are struggling into the year or are red on the year, keep in mind my equity curve. I told you guys, man, that as long as we can try our best to stay sideways in the colder market, things will pick back up, man. I know this is just 2 weeks right here, but I believe this will continue. I believe we'll pick up a little bit more pace, a little bit more steam, and we can start to see some better days. So when we do go to detail and we go to the win-loss expectation and we go back to January 1st, look at the ABCD right here, right? January, we started off red, we came back flat, then we're red again, we get a bit of a double bottom almost. It's like a stock chart, right? It's exactly like a stock chart. We get the double bottom and then the ABCD. So right over the pivot, where do we want to be getting long on the stock? Right here. If not, if you miss the double bottom, right here for the pivot, and then boom, breakout. So we're going to look to keep pushing. And so we had a dip right here and then surge up. We're getting a dip right here. We're going to look to surge up again. So let's see the overall win-loss ratio here when we talk about the equity curve. So look at this right here, man. Flat top breakout over this level of 59. So let's zoom over a little bit more. I know this big green thing is in the way here, but this is 2022 right here. We're sideways and now we're breaking out. So we're looking to keep the incline. Can I get to 70,000, 80,000? I think it's possible. Hey, if the this is what I'll say. If the momentum is there, anything is possible. I'll be looking to be aggressive with my share size as long as we can see momentum. And so we might be able to connect really well on some days, man. I think it'll happen, and we'll push right up there to 65, 70, 75, 80,000, and continue to make our way to 100K. So, trading is definitely not the field if we can't take a loss or two. Look at this right here, man. I've made 172,000, lost 109,000. So we got to keep improving. We got to get better. Can we get this side bigger, faster, and have this side increase at a slower rate? That's the key for me, to keep working, keep grinding, and just keep pushing, man. Is the way to go. I'm gonna keep working at it. So enjoy the weekend, guys, and then make sure to study up on Sunday. Let's come back and look forward to some better momentum. And when we go back to February 22nd, it's been pretty decent since February 22nd for me. 4 red days, so not bad. And majority green. We had a good stretch right here from the 22nd to the 25th, and then the 1st to the 4th. Even week 2, not too bad. But we'll try to be better for week 3, week 4, week 5. So that's where I'm going to end this one off, guys. It's been RT. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you are a new viewer, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I am, of course, I got to look on this side right here, signing out.